Israel's Prime Minister's declared it's at war after it came under a surprise dawn attack by Hamas rockets and ground forces. A hard line on migration from Hungary and Poland may not block a European political community deal for concrete measures across the bloc. Smoke rises above Gaza, the first signs of Israel's retaliation for the biggest Hamas attack in years. Thousands of reservists are being called up, and Israel's Prime Minister was not mincing words.
אזרחי ישראל, אנחנו במלחמה. לא במבצע, לא בסבבים, במלחמה.
At daybreak, thousands of Hamas rockets. The opening salvos left burning cars on the streets of Ashkelon in Israel. Hospitals in Israel reported dozens of casualties. This was a multi-pronged attack across the border by land, sea and air, catching Israel off guard on a major holiday. Hamas released videos of Palestinian fighters breaching the border fence and celebrating beside a burnt-out Israeli tank. There were reportedly several breaches along the border fence erected by Israel, Palestinians storming across to territory they say is rightfully theirs.
The European Union has condemned the attacks by Hamas on Israel and called for the violence to stop immediately. Ursula von der Leyen, who is the EU Commission President, tweeted that it was terrorism in its most despicable form. Israel has the right to defend itself against such heinous attacks, she said. The President of the European Council, Charles Michel, echoed von der Leyen, adding that my thoughts are with all the victims. French President Emmanuel Macron also described them as terrorist attacks and, like Michel, expressed solidarity for the victims. Israel says at least 40 people have been killed, whilst the authorities in Gaza say at least 198 Palestinians have been killed. Both numbers are likely to rise. Ukraine also called them terrorist attacks and added that it supported Israel in its right to defend itself and its people. At Shifa Hospital in Gaza City, cars and ambulances were dropping off the dead and wounded. AP reporters counted 8 bodies at hospitals and reported 15 funerals had already been held.
All at sea, 162 people on a chronically overcrowded wooden boat off Libya, rescued in their desperate attempt to reach Europe by a French charity, helping hands for a group of migrants as Europe's leaders grappled with how best to handle migration, Hungary and Poland insisting on border security.
Elles ont exprimé autour de la table le désaccord qu'elles ont déjà exprimé d'ailleurs au niveau des ministres, mais qui n'est pas de nature à bloquer une décision qui relève de la majorité qualifiée et qui, je crois, est très pondérée et qui ensuite également est de nature à, si on se dit les choses, permettre d'avancer de manière très concrète.
Mixed loyalties, leanings and postures on display at the family photo at the end of the European Community Summit in Granada, a Spanish retreat that also saw family members tussling over accession, with European leaders failing to agree a target date for Ukraine to join the Union.
Yaroslav Kaczynski has pulled out of the only TV debate before next weekend's election. Poland's de facto ruler was due to face his main rival Donald Tusk face-to-face on live TV, but he now says it's more important for him to attend a meeting in a small rural town 100 kilometers away from Warsaw. Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki will now take his place in Monday's debate on TVP, the main state-run channel. During its time in office, the government has interfered in the state-run media so that it's no longer completely independent. According to the latest opinion poll, Kaczynski's ruling Law and Justice Party have around 36% versus Donald Tusk's Civic Platform Party's 30%. That suggests the government may not get enough votes to gain a third term in office and would likely enter into talks to form a coalition government.